Good morning, students. Now we are going to see about the Bengalis style of architecture and Bengalis language and also the staple diet of Bengalis. Now we are going to see about the emergence of Bengali language. In 4th and 3rd century BCE, before century, Bengal came to be influenced by Sanskrit as a relation started developing in the Magadha, between Bengalis and Magadha. Present day Bihar, Magadha it's known as, now it is called Bihar. In 4th century, when Guptas began to rule North Bengal, Brahmanas moved to the region and brought with them the influence of Sanskrit and their culture. During 7th century, people across Bengal began to speak Sanskrit, and it is mentioned in the Chinese traveler Zhuangzang. Between 14th and 16th century, the sultans, rulers in Delhi, became the rulers of Bengal. In 15th century, a common literary language came to be used, all the dialects. This language was derived from the spoken language used in the Western Bengal region. Bengali went through many changes to react its present form. Many words from Persian, Europe and tribal languages found their way into the language. Next, in 1586, Akbar conquered Bengal and made the center of Bengal Suba. During this period, Persian language was used for official purposes, but Bengali emerged as a regional language in Bengal. Several dialects of Bengali came to be used as well. Bengali literature can be divided into two. One is Sanskrit epics. From the Sanskrit epics, divided into two. Bengali language is divided into two. That is, one is derived from Sanskrit epics, and poems associated with local deities such as Mangala Kavyas. Mangala Kavyas. And it is associated with the local deities. And Mangala Kavyas means auspicious poems. And next one is Bhakti literature, derived from the Sanskrit epics. Next one is Bhakti literature. Like Bhakti literature, like the biographies of Chaitanya Deva, and he is the leader of Vaishnava Bhakti movement. Chaitanya Deva is the leader of Vaishnava Bhakti movement. This text was probably written in between the 15th and the mid of 18th century. Then the second category consists of Nath literature, which includes the song of Mainamati and Gopi Chandra. And it is the stories of social deity called Dharma Dakur. Mainamati, songs of Mainamati and Gopi Chandra. It is stories of a local deity. And Dharma Thakur folk tales and fairy tales among many others, they were imported orally. So we can't say, we don't know the exact dates. Then there were more used in the Western Bengal, Eastern Bengal, where the Brahmana influence was not strong. Development of next one is development of Pir culture. During 16th century, the people from Western Bengal began to move to southeastern parts of the region, where they were cleared the forest and began to cultivate rice there. The new communities of peasants developed after that. They now began to merge the local tribal communities, then mainly fisher folks and shifting cultivators. This brought some instability in the new settlements. The leaders of the community known as Pirs helped people settle down and built the sense of community among the people. The term Pir was normally given to saints and Sufis, great soldiers, and some Hindu and Buddhist deities, and even animistic spirits. These Pirs served as teachers and adjudicators. This Pir served as teachers and adjudicators. Gradually, the culture of Pirs gained and great popularity in Bengal, and their shrines came up in many places. Like this, the Pir culture shrines in Bengal. After that, we are going to see about the development of Bengali style of architecture. In 15th and 19th centuries, the social and economic conditions of the people from lower strata improved due to the opportunities created by the newly arrived European trading companies. Then the higher status, the companies began building temples. They built temples were built for local deities. After they gained recognition from the high caste Brahmanas, they built many temples also. Earlier, these deities were worshipped in thatched huts. The new temples were built in double roofed or dochala. It is a double roofed huts. Or Chachala style. Chachala style that was followed in the construction of thatched huts. All this led to the evolution of the Bengal style of the architecture. Here, the temples were built on square platform. Here, the temples were built in square platforms. Square platforms. In four-roofed structure, the four walls had triangular roofs converging on a curved line or at a point. Then these temples were plain from inside and decorated on the outside with paintings and ornamental tiles and terracotta artwork. The decorative artwork in some temples of Vishnupur in Bankura district of West Bengal are of very high quality because of this type of decorative artwork. Then now we are going to see about the staple diet of Bengali. Fish is the staple food of diet of Bengali. Food items locally available in a region form on the basis of the traditional food habits of the people became the food habits of the people. Here Bengal has lots of rivers, making it one of the richest riverine lands, best of the cultivating rice, and for fishing Bengal is richest in cultivating rice and for fishing. Due to the abundant availability of fish and rice, and it is the traditional food for the Bengalis and also of all social classes. People of Bengal have always engaged in fishing. The walls of temples and Buddhist monasteries became the fish markets. There are also many references in the Bengali literature. Fish was so popular for their staple diet in Bengalis, and even Brahmanas were allowed to consume the fish, types of fish for their living, as per the 13th, and it was said by the 13th century Sanskrit text, that is Brihadarma Purana. Brihadarma Purana. It is a Sanskrit language. Okay students, in this lesson we saw about the Bengalis traditions and also their language and development of Bengali style of architecture and the staple diet for the Bengalis. Now in this lesson we have already saw that language shared and religious traditions and shared values played a great role in the formation of the regional cultures. Then art forms like dance, paintings evolved in different forms of different regions, and Kathak, and it is derived from the word Katha, means a story. Then Kathak evolved from being a dance performed in temples and one performed as an entertainment in the Mughal court to its current form of the classical dance. Then miniature, it is a type of painting being slowly at Rajasthani style to its present form, which includes different schools of paintings like Mughal, Gangra and Basoli. Then Bengali language evolved as a result of Sanskrit and non-Sanskrit influences in the region. Early Bengali literature can be divided into two categories. One, indebtedness to Sanskrit, and the other is independent of it. Next one, Pir culture. In Pir culture became popular in Bengal during the 16th century. Pir was commonly community leaders from Bengal who helped bring some order and assurance in the community. Several temples were built in Bengal between the 15th and 19th century. In this lesson, we saw several new terms, that is miniature, minstrel. Minstrel means a medieval musician, one who sang or recited lyric and heroic poetry. Then immolation. Immolation means it is the act of sacrificing, especially by burning. Then dialect, a form of language that is spoken in a particular area. Suba means it is a subdivision of the Mughal Empire between the 16th and 18th centuries. Then animistic. Animistic means it is a belief in many spiritual beings who can help or hurt human interests. Then adjudicator means a person who makes a formal judgment on a disputed matter. Okay students, now I have finished this lesson. Next lesson we are going to see in the next class. Thank you students.